Our next poet is another Florence Poets Society member and a really fine poet. And she has also helped us quite a bit with Silkworm and some of the other projects that we work on. And give a good warm welcome to Marianne Gambaro.
My first poem today is about an extraordinary season in an extraordinary place, and the form is a rondeau redoublé, which sort of lends itself to the repetition of nature, called Yellowstone in Winter. As geysers blow and sputter in the snow, the bison graze within a field of steam. The scene remains unchanged from long ago. It's all a part of nature's greater scheme. The summer tourists flee this vast extreme where trees stand black against the white tableau. The silence shatters to an eagle's scream as geysers blow and sputter in the snow. The icy vices break where thermals flow, and cygnets glide the river's course downstream. Near geysers where the fragile grasses grow, the bison graze within a field of steam. No heat is transferred from the sun's bright beam. At dusk, the moon recasts its icy glow. No heat is transferred from the sun's bright beam. At dusk, the moon recasts its icy glow on shadows even denser than they seem. The scene remains unchanged from long ago. An elk upon a windswept high plateau with nerves on edge surveys the winter scene. Her calf's remains yield fodder for the crow. It's all a part of nature's greater scheme. The grizzly sows bear even as they dream their sleep unbroken, while nearby their foe, the wolf, once threatened, now again supreme, prowls for prey and slays in bloody snow as geysers blow. Thank you. The next one is a love poem. It's called A Perfect Day for Burning. As we strip off jackets in unmarch-like warmth, no wind threatens to ignite the nearby woods with errant sparks. The once noble Christmas tree begins the sacrifice in a whoosh of flame and sap-stained smoke. Our hands brush as we feed the pyre with sticks and twigs of winter's detritus while newly lopped maples weep. I place barren raspberry brambles on the altar. You lean on your rake, vigilant for escaping embers. One day soon the ashes will cool, and we will relinquish this ritual as backs and hips and knees rebel. Already 60s and 70s no longer evoke the decades of our youth, but rather the conflagration on our birthday cakes, marking years that grow increasingly shorter. But today, there is only the fire, the earth, and us. The next one is about a local icon that some of you may recognize, the weather vane on Cooley Dickinson Hospital. Bearing its swaddled burden, the ancient verdigris stork gyrates in the blizzard above the hospital roof. You sleep as I watch its frenzied dance from beside your bed in critical care. How dare it flaunt a new life as you fight for your old one. Ephemeral white blankets the roof. Functional white blankets your bed. Life evanescent as an April snow, so much left unsaid, so much left undone. Beeps and blips blessedly count off seconds, minutes, hours, as neon green lines gently undulate across a screen, reasserting life more fragile than that of a newborn infant delivered by a whirling copper stork in a blizzard. One of my greatest personal fears is dementia, which is very prevalent in my family, and this poem confronts that head on. It's called Crossing the Lethe. Her son, the doctor, of whom she had been so proud, now a stranger, no more alive to her than his stillborn sister, who would have been in her 40s. He comes less frequently, now that she doesn't know him. Friends stopped coming months ago. What's the use? Sometimes forgetting at this age can be a blessing, coos the social worker, thinking what groceries she will buy when her shift is finally over. Take me home. Tomorrow lies her husband of nearly 5 decades turning his head away. Tomorrow he too is a stranger. Yet he comes back. Yet he comes back. Nurse, nurse, she screams, trembling, tears glistening. This woman, she keeps following me. I know, but she won't hurt you, the aide says as she puts a hand on her shoulder and gently guides her away from the mirror. This poem is a tribute to the last of my mother's sisters, Aunt Eleanor, who passed away this summer, and yes, also of dementia. It's called The Sister's Visit. No sign marks the driveway. We'd passed it twice, not a driveway at all, but a hardened dirt trail through second-growth forest, punctuated by rocks and ruts and my father's expletives. Late model, two-tone coupe, challenging a frail wooden bridge, then yet another bend. We are paying a visit. Pay, as one would a debt, an obligation. Dogs bark in greeting as we round the final bend. My aunt's rake pauses in mid-stroke from smoothing the gravel, as if to lay a red carpet for royal guests. She, close-cropped hair, man's worn plaid shirt, and dungarees before they were jeans or fashionable. My father parks our gleaming Oldsmobile next to their rusting station wagon. Black-eyed Susan stares silently at these strangers, feathery goldenrod and Queen Anne's lace, their ivories and yellows punctuated with blue forget-me-nots, decorate the weathered clapboard behind them. Indoors, their choicest offspring light the kitchen, flanked by canning jars of Technicolor reds and greens and saffrons. My mother bunny lips as she sits gingerly on the edge of the worn sofa, unconsciously smoothing her skirt, which will go to the cleaners first thing Monday morning. Her back to the snake in the terrarium, she watches with barely concealed horror as a turtle moseys across the floor, ignoring her in his journey toward the cast-iron skillet of chopped meat he shares with the dogs. Freshly brewed iced tea with mint still warm from the garden. Oatmeal cookies, newly baked for guests. Seconds? Please. But we stay the minimum, departing with perfunctory kisses and awkward hugs and promises to call. Safely out of earshot, my mother asks, "How can my sister live like that?" I think, how could she not? And I'll close with a poem that's literally something short and sweet, called The Alchemist's Tracks. Maple trees mark the points of a precise pentacle in the snow, drawn by my neighbor's boots as he checks his sap buckets for the sweet, fleeting elixir. Thank you.